All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, today, Pro Bowl defensive end J.J. Watt has a new football home for 2021 as he signed with the Arizona Cardinals. Watt has a 2-year deal in place with the Cards for $31 million, with $23 million of that being guaranteed. Now, Watt will be 32 years of age next month, and you have to wonder if he'll have a legit chance to win a Super Bowl in the desert. Now, Watt joins a Cards front seven, which includes Chandler Jones and Isaiah Simmons. So this linebacking core, and especially if Watt wants to play down defensive end or an up outside linebacker, they're definitely going to go out there and be able to get after the quarterback. Now, you look at this and you have to ask yourself, are the Arizona Cardinals ready to be a Super Bowl contender? And unfortunately, the answer is no. We are looking at a Cards team that this past season in a very weak NFC could not find a way to get a playoff berth. And not only a very weak NFC, this was also the year where the playoffs got expanded from 6 teams per conference to 7. And with that said, the Cardinals, they could not get it done. They had a very favorable schedule. You look at some of their questionable losses. Early on this season, they lost at home to the Detroit Lions. Followed that up with a very bad loss on the road to the Carolina Panthers. They lost to a New England Patriots team that also finished with a losing record. This team, they got swept by the Los Angeles Rams this season, and they also lost to the San Francisco 49ers, another team that had a losing record, and they also had an injury-plagued season. So I look at that right there, and the Cardinals are showing me that they are not ready for primetime because they couldn't go out there and get their business done in order to even get the 7th spot in the NFC, which went to the Chicago Bears. Watt, once it came down to the fact that he wanted to be released from the Houston Texans, he said all of the right things, that he wanted to go to a Super Bowl contender. He wanted to have a chance to get a championship. J.J. Watt can say whatever he wants. At the bottom line is J.J. Watt did this for the money, because you look at it, $23 million guaranteed out of a $31 million deal for 2 years to go to the Birds. Honestly, he did it for the bread. You look at it, I said it coming in once Watt was released by Houston, that Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay were his best options, especially Tampa Bay and Kansas City. You look at it, Tampa Bay is coming off of winning a Super Bowl championship. They're going to have a lot of pieces back in play. I really thought that J.J. Watt would have been a great fit there. He could have been a strong leader on the defensive side of the ball. If the Bucs, more like they are expected to, lose Shaq Barrett in free agency, Watt could have stepped in. Watt could have taken less money if he wanted to really go to Tampa Bay and win, but he didn't want to do that. Kansas City, I know that they were taken behind the woodshed in the Super Bowl at the hands of the Bucs, but at the end of the day, the Chiefs team is still going to be right there in the mix for a Super Bowl championship next season. Watt could have really, attached himself to that team and had an opportunity. The same thing could be said for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He would have had an opportunity to play with his brother TJ. And you look at the Buffalo Bills with the relentlessness that they play defensive football. J.J. Watt would have really fit in there. It came down to the fact that he would have had to have taken less money to get that done. But like I always say, do you want to win or do you want to get paid? Because sometimes if you want to win, you have to sacrifice your ego and your finances in order to get out there and get that championship. How bad do you want it? J.J. Watt did not want it bad enough. And at the end of the day, he's going to find himself in a very similar situation, because you look at it, the Arizona Cardinals do have a better chance of making the playoffs next season, but making the playoffs and doing something there are two different things. I think the Cards have enhanced their chances of getting to the postseason, but just like it was with the Texans, you look at it, the Cards maybe win a game, and that'll be about it. Maybe get to the second round, but they're not going to do any damage. And this is a guy in Watt, He has shown that he is not the player that he once was, of course, earlier in his career. The back injuries have really started to take their toll on him. He could still be an effective player. However, I really think that he missed the ball here. Going to a team like Tampa, a guy like Bruce Arians as a coach, he would have managed his reps, definitely trying to do what he had to do on defense to get the football back to a veteran quarterback like Tom Brady. It really seemed like a match made in heaven. I don't know what Watt was thinking here. He chased the money, and in doing so, he more than likely is forfeiting an opportunity to hoist the coveted Vince Lombardi trophy. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you are on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There is also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.